All right, so I'm starting the series called Diary of a Franchisor. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Neil. I run a fully remote cleaning company called MaidThis, and I started franchising it out. Now we're across about 40 locations in the US, and I'm doing all of this while traveling the world. In fact, that's actually what we teach franchisees, is how to start their own fully remote local cleaning company. Then they can do whatever they want. Not everyone wants to travel, but some people want more time for their family, more time with their friends, the ability to be location independent, the ability to quit the job, all that kind of great stuff. Me personally, I've been traveling the world for the last decade across 60 different countries, working remotely in random spots. For example, today I'm over in Kigali in Rwanda, where I'll spend a couple months. I've been here 3 different times, last time for 6 months. And what I'm going to start here is documenting the entire journey of building a fully national cleaning franchise to over 100 locations while traveling the world. In this series, this is going to be the real raw truth of what I'm dealing with every single week, building a franchise business. And I'm going to tell you exactly problems I'm solving, what I'm doing to help franchises. This is not glitz and glamour. This is not showcasing certain things so I could sell you a course or something. This is just me documenting how I'm doing this and the problems I'm encountering. The goal of this is to give you an inside scoop into what life is like for a franchisor and also how to run a business remotely. Like if you've ever dreamed of traveling the world, living abroad, working remotely, this will be a series for you. If you're ever curious what it is to be like a franchisor, having actual franchise locations and support them, this is for you. This is for anyone who actually gets anything from this, and I'm just going to document and share everything. Now, I started my franchise business about 4 years ago. I've had my local cleaning company for over 12 years, but franchising it for the last 4 years with about 32 franchise owners across almost 40 locations at the moment. Now, obviously, I'm starting this series right now, so this isn't from day one, but from now, from this location, from this time frame, I'm going to start documenting the journey so you can follow along. Now, when I started my local cleaning company in Los Angeles, MaidThis, I didn't know what I was freaking doing. I was working in finance. I wanted a way out. I found a post online of a guy who started a cleaning company. And I was like, all right, forget it. Let me give this a shot as well. Then it started working. But even as it was working, I was making so many dumb mistakes. Like I didn't know how to pay cleaners. I'd be like, just pull up outside of my corporate building and then run down and give them cash. And everyone thought I was a drug dealer because they could see me giving people cash in a car. All these mistakes. So the goal of me when I started MaidThis franchise is hopefully the franchisees don't have to deal with any of those mistakes. If I knew what I know now, I probably could have got to the level I'm at now in half the time, if not even faster. So the goal of everything I'm building here with MaidThis is answering one simple question is, how do I help franchisees grow much faster than I did without as much headache? Now, in a franchise business, there's a lot of variables to solve for, right? It's not just, hey, here's a playbook, go execute it, right? When it comes to franchisees and supporting franchisees, and I truly believe MaidThis, like what I want it to be, is the best freaking support system in the world. I want it to be a freaking cheat code so someone joins and they could scale way faster than they would normally. They could scale way faster than I did. That's what I'm building. That's what I really, really want to build. I want to help aspiring entrepreneurs, people who it's probably their first real time in entrepreneurship. Maybe they dabbled in a couple things, but haven't really built $1 million business. I want to help them join MaidThis and have a platform for growth. Through MaidThis, I want them to say, man, I've leveled up. I've become an entrepreneur. I'm leveled up both financially, time, location, financial freedom, but also personally. That's what I want MaidThis to be, and that's what I'm trying to build towards. Now, a big part of that is how do you help franchisees the most without doing everything for them? There's a lot of ways to build a franchise system, right? I've seen franchises like there's a big company called 5-Star Franchising, and they have a call center that they require franchisees to sign up for. They'll generate leads for franchisees, so they do all of that. Now, they charge a hefty fee for all this kind of stuff. But there's one model where you freaking do everything for franchisees, and that person pretty much is buying a job. There's another model where they just give franchisees a playbook and say, hey, call me if you need help. Here's the hotline email, and just let me know if you need help. I'll get back to you in 24 hours. I don't like any of those extremes, to be honest, because what I want to do is help develop people into becoming entrepreneurs and business owners. And that doesn't mean letting them do it themselves. That means giving them guardrails, but in a de-risked way, in a way that I could actually help support them, and our system could help support them growing way faster than they would by themselves. Now, with that, in a franchise system, it is incredibly important to support franchisees, not just with the best mousetrap, but also with accountability, with coaching, with leveling up their mindset. This is all part of the game of a real solid support system. And most of my time, to be honest, is helping franchisees answer one main question. And that main question is, how do I grow my business as fast as possible with the least headache possible? That's all I'm trying to solve for every single day. Now, when we started and MaidThis, we had something called a grand launch program where franchisees join, we do 8 weeks of training, and afterwards they do grand launch, right? So they're going to start marketing, getting business, and things like that. The thing with marketing and what I've learned over the last 12 years of doing local business marketing is it changes really freaking fast. And the people who don't change with it are going to be dinosaurs. There's still cleaning companies doing door hangers, flyers, postcards as their sole source of leads. Now, if it works, amazing, right? I'm not knocking on these. My point is a lot of these companies haven't really evolved much. That's what they've done. That's what they know. And if something happens, they're not able to keep up with the times. Now, when it comes to like what I'm building here with MaidThis, I know the key is staying on top of marketing trends and staying on top of what's going to help franchisees make more money. Now, there's so many different things that anyone can work on, right? Everyone's like, oh my God, the AI is coming. Why don't we do X, Y, and Z? Why don't we make things fancier? Like there's so many amazing things we can do. And I agree. At the end of the day, though, the number one thing I want to do for franchisees and help them solve most is what's going to make them more money. It's not a snazzy AI tool. It's how do we get more leads and how do I close the leads at a higher rate and how do I match them with the best cleaners in the market. If we solve those three things, franchisees will grow a lot faster, and that's where most of my time is focused on. Now, along with the marketing, one big thing I'm trying to solve is we have our grand launch marketing. And to be honest, every 6 months we have to change this because of what's going on, because old marketing mediums maybe aren't as effective or new things have come up which are exciting. So my main focus currently is revamping grand launch to something called Launch Lab. That's the new improved grand launch program we're doing. And all my time this week, to be honest, is spent on vetting vendors. We have a vendor village where it's vendors for graphics, for meta ads, for Google ads, all that kind of stuff. SEO vendors, whatever. Like we have everything in the vendor village. And a big part of it is curating the vendor village for franchisees. A lot of that's testing new, specifically marketing vendors and seeing how they do up to par. Now, within our franchise system, we do something called a honeypot initiative where we test vendors in franchisees markets. So we pretty much say, hey, here's money. And the vendor, we're going to help manage you. Franchisee, please test this. And we're going to support you financially. We're going to support you with the coaching, whatever, to help you test this properly. That way we could test it in like 3 different markets rather than just my market in LA, and we can figure out what works really well. So we found a couple solid vendors on the meta side who are now part of the Grand Launch program, or the Launch Lab, I should call it. And my time right now this week is vetting other vendors. I'm trying to solve the problem of, AdWords historically, AdWords, not LSA, Google AdWords has not been cracked yet for franchisees. Some have, some haven't. Every market's kind of dependent. I just don't know, to be honest, if I found the best vendors for this. So I'm actively vetting vendors right now. We're running honeypot tests in 3 different markets for one vendor I was referred to. Most of my time this week is spent on this, which is how do I manage these vendors? How do I tell them what data I need to make sure this test is accurate? And how do I my coaches handhold the franchisees throughout this process? So this week, and to be honest, most of what I'm going to be doing for this first quarter is revamp the Launch Lab. My number one goal is how do we get franchisees launched and growing way faster than they have done before. And we'll revamp it now. 6 months, we're going to revamp it again. 6 months, we're going to revamp it again. And hopefully every 6 months or every so often, whatever, franchisees will hit certain benchmarks aggressively fast, way faster than they did before. So most of my time right now is spent on this problem, which is I got a shitload of meetings with vendors because I'm trying to vet and figure out who's the best over here. That's what's going on this week in the first entry of Diary of a Franchisor.